Now I have said before that ID in the category table will be the primary key. But how do we define, or rather say that this ID must be the primary key? Because sometimes, let's say if the name is category underscore underscore and then we have the ID. If the variable name is something like this, then how can Entity Framework Core know that this particular property that you have will be the primary key of the table? For that we have something called as data annotation. So right here in square bracket, if I write key, you can see it is inside system.componentModel.dataAnnotation. When I press enter here, key data annotation is added here, and that way Entity Framework Core will know that this property will be the primary key for the category table. So that sounds good. But by default, if the name is purely ID, it will automatically, or rather Entity Framework Core will automatically think that this is the primary key, and because of that the key data annotation will not be required. Also, if the name is exactly same like the model that we have, which is category followed by an ID like this, then also it will automatically treat that particular property as the primary key. But with all of that defined, if you explicitly define the key data annotation, that way looking at the key data annotation you can tell that ID is the primary key for category table. Along with that we also have another data annotation which is required. Once you add required to any of the property here, when SQL script will be generated to create this particular table in database, you will see that string will have a not null setting. That is why we have the required data annotation. Now there are more data annotations, but we will uncover them as we proceed with the course. Right now we have talked so much about creating database, creating models, having tables and adding multiple columns in there. How do we define a primary key in that table? But how do we actually create the table? For that we have to define connection string in our project to the SQL Server, and we have to configure our application to use Entity Framework Core and SQL Server. That configuration is a little bit lengthy, so stick with me and we will continue on that from the next video.